I love this portrait. It's of a young militiaman, quite a grand figure, a man called Joris de Caulerij, who was from The Hague. And Rembrandt, young, in his late 20s, goes to make a small number of portraits in The Hague. He may have stayed in this man's inn. He owned an inn called the Great Swan, and perhaps in return for lodging, Rembrandt painted a portrait of the man and his son. This is one of these early Rembrandts where the light just emerges from we can't quite see where it emerges from. The man is bathed in a glow. He's shown as a militiaman, quite a high rank in the city of The Hague. He's wearing his gorget, which was a sort of breastplate top. He's got his sword and musket. But what he's wearing in his buff-colored coat, he's waiting for the armor to be placed over him. So this is a sort of military portrait. There was no war going on. He was not actually in active service. Remember The Night Watch by Rembrandt. It's a whole world of these grand, dashing, swashbuckling militiamen who were there to protect, but also to have a very good time. And I think this is a little earlier, of course, this is 10 years earlier, but it's the same type of portrait.
The artist is also plying his or her craft, or his craft, in order to make a living.
And with Rembrandt, who was very attentive to that. Here's the young man, he moves to Amsterdam, he wants to make a real splash as a painter of grand subjects.
So who you paint is as important as that you paint.
Oh gosh, and also for a sense of community. If you paint a good portrait of one of these militiamen, perhaps another will commission.
Who's networked into whom?
Oh, very, very important. And for Rembrandt, who is a towering artist, it wasn't always so easy. And in the early part of his career, he really has to sort of make a grand statement. And these are very original performances, if you like. The way the lighting comes from, as it were, from the front of the picture, the way the figure engages you with a sort of very frank and quite, in some ways, quite sort of combative look, but also the sheer technique of being able to create the armor, the stuff, the sword, the glints of light against metal. This was all quite new. And Rembrandt was taking a bit of a risk, in a way, in pushing this new language, but it met with immediate recognition.